Einstein said, "The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge." And I am like Einstein, in the sense that I couldn't do anything without the ability to fixate imaginatively, only in that sense, probably. This is me. I'm a writer. I've written several humor books, including Enemy of Chaos, a fantasy choose-your-own-adventure book for adults. I'm also the ringmaster of Hack Circus, a weird, immersive magazine and live show that has been described as Make Magazine meets the 40 Times. We receive messages from the future and develop sentient machines and occasionally send our audiences into space. But for me, fantasy has never been an escape. It was a light coming on. It made everything sharper and more real. It propelled me further through the ordinary world. A vibrant guide offering a translation service, opportunities to understand things that I'd have had no comprehension of otherwise. Fantasy is not a foreign thing, but a mediator inside our own head, whose job it is to create analogies that fuel enthusiasm. When all the doors are closed, fantasy flies in on a unicorn. By finding context, fantasy projects relevance that suddenly brightens things which might otherwise be dull, like social media. Now, social media can, of course, be creative. But the problem with sharing the really good stuff is that everyone wants a piece. Back in the days before we all worked for Google, when we had nothing but a flashing cursor and a blank screen to work with, fantasy was subject matter and method. You were the sorcerer. Stories flowed from your fingertips. You made things out of nothing, and that's kind of what I try to do with Hack Circus. But perhaps it's right, actually, that we do have a slightly less direct relationship with our machines these days. Some of you might remember this sort of cautionary tale, I think, about engaging with machines. This never came to pass, luckily. Of course, it's war games. I know a lot of people are doing the war-themed art at the moment, so I thought I'd get in on that meme with a slide written in a 30-year-old computer programming language about a film from several decades ago. It's an extraordinary thing, fantasy. It will make you think that no amount of time attempting to get something done is too much time, even when it clearly is too much time. This is the code involved in writing these slides that I've been showing you today. Enslavement to fantasy can result in madness, of course, but suppression of it is useful, efficient, and terribly sad. Please trust the mediating power of the magical to provide solutions and believe in your own abilities to visualize and to fantasize. This is me. I've got my table of stuff in room 5, which is sort of the room on the far end. You have to go through room 4 to see it. So please come and talk to me about what I'm doing if you want to. And you can have a go on the real version of this, which has been duped for the purposes of Keynote, but it does exist as a real BBC Basic emulated slideshow for some reason. So that's me. Thanks very much. Cheers.